society today, sex is one of the most important interests of Americans. We are all growing and living in a world where we are constantly bombarded with the images in the media that are rather sexually explicit. No matter what form it's presented in, it is still able to catch the attention of humans. Advertisers use sex to sell their products due to the overwhelming appeal and eye-catching attributes of it. The various ways of selling products have many effects on society, sometimes more than it is realized. It has caused Americans to be completely sexually perpetuated. Overall, women are portrayed in media in many different ways, but one of the highest appeals to others is if it relates to sex, and the trend has become on the rise. Women's bodies are being more exposed and objectified. This is in every kind of media, such as television, magazines, clothing, and more. It is almost shocking how prevalent sex is in media and overall, the everyday lives of people. The characteristics of culture are very much seen in marketing and advertisements. For example, the one seen in Victoria's Secret ads and catalogs. The images are fabricated because models are airbrushed and overall promote unrealistic images of women. The advertisements are made for the people with the goal of attracting men and women to their sexual campaigns. Small things such as advertisements for Axe body spray claim that the cologne will attract women, completely objectifying females. As a society, sexual advertisements are becoming more accepted, partly because they are blatantly displayed more. Although women are objectified and advertised as sexual icons, sometimes their sexuality is by choice. It's a known fact that sex sells, and sometimes people, particularly women, will do anything to use it to their advantage. Whether people want it to or not, they are exposed to it. Our everyday society is surrounded by sex. In the upcoming clips, you will see that we interviewed a waitress from Hooters and a former exotic dancer at a strip club.
Typical day at your job entail? Well, difficult day for me is I basically manage over 100 girls here. I deal with the scheduling, the hiring, firing, stuff like that. Majority of the time, I mean, I'm mostly in the office. I'm never really on the floor. So,
Okay.
that's probably a difference.
How do some of these girls get in the line of work?
A lot of it is because we got a lot of single mothers who come in. Girls fresh out of high school, just curious to try and see how it is. A lot of the girls are dragged in by their friends. So those are just a couple of ways.
What was it like when you first started working here? Were you nervous, excited?
When I first started working here,
better?
yes.
Much better, much better.
All right, so when I first started working here was about 5 years ago, and I started off as a dancer.
Okay.
Yes, I was nervous. It was my first time doing it. Throwing myself in there.
Yeah. Are there any qualifications someone needs to be able to work here for, like, your height or weight or body type?
We don't really discriminate. I mean, we just ask that you look presentable to the gentleman that's going to be coming in.
Okay. Is your job anything like the stereotypical display seen on movies and TV?
No. No, there's a big difference from what they display on TV to what is actually here.
Okay, when you were on the floor, did you ever feel like you were objectified by any of the customers or anything?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's common.
Are most of the customers, like, are they respectful? Do they ever get out of line or anything?
Actually, a majority of our customers are very respectful. I mean, there are times where we have a couple of, rude guys, but yeah.
Are you open with your job? Do you ever feel like you're living a double life at all, or some of the other girls?
Some of the other girls actually do feel like they're living a double life. Like, they come in here and they have to have a whole different persona from what they are outside of here.
Who's the average customer here?
Oh, the average customer. Let's see. I'd have to say probably older men. Older, bigger men.
If someone were to say your job is taboo, would you agree at all?
No, not at all.
What are the ages that the girls range from?
We cannot hire anyone under the age of 18. So from 18 to about, I think our oldest dancer is 47.
Oh, awesome.
Okay.
How does someone train for, like, job? You're like,
It's
is there
not-
really no training?
There's
or?
really no training. It's basically you jump up there and dance. I mean, just show the world what you have. But a lot of the girls they will watch videos online.
Oh, good.
Like just a practice.
Mia, how was the first strip club visit?
It was very interesting. Learned a lot of things from Liliana, and can't wait to visit the next one.
Come on. Come on.
Just like looking around at this grocery store, there's ads with women like covering it. I feel that women our age have grown up in a society where women have been in ads in a sexy manner, and that's how things have sold, and it's normalized now for us. And no, that's not okay, but it is what we're used to, and like grown it into our daily consciousness and become almost acceptable.
Every day in high school, I see girls walking around at school with their boobs hanging out and like trying to impress the guys all the time, and it's just not a pretty sight to see. I don't like seeing that like around in the environment when I'm trying to learn.
Sex sells, okay? Sex is awesome.
Okay, the human race is sexually inclined, but women were much more conservative back in the day, and nowadays how parents have their children walking around, I think is unacceptable. Commercials have always had sex appeal in them, even from the start. That's just how it is. That's how you make money in this world. There's a couple ways you can wear yoga pants. You don't have to wear them rolled up or the thinnest material you could possibly get a hold of. Like, and besides, anybody under like, I don't know, what's the age limit you think the cutoff should be?
Once you can move out, so 18.
Yeah, you're talking about a 9-year-old walking down the street with yoga pants. Why? Why is it acceptable? That's not right. I don't think it's right. I don't know. That's what I got.
They pull up the shorts way too high. Nowadays, girls, I figure, walk out of their house not caring about how much clothing they're wearing. They're trying to appeal more to guys than they ever did in the past. And they flirt a lot more with everyone, teachers included, no matter where they're at or what they're doing.
And why do you think that is?
The thirst is real, I don't know.
Do you think it has anything to do with advertising?
Advertising has a lot to do with it. All the sex appeal is getting more and more in video games and commercials and TV and sports. You'll see it all over the place, and they advertise it more and emphasize on it more in the news and everywhere else you're watching them. It's just more appealing now, and there's a lot. They can emphasize the picture more than they could in the past. Parenting needs to step it up a bit, because 14-year-olds are walking around looking like they're 25 years old. Drinking started a lot sooner, and a lot more things happen when you're drinking or involved in that type of atmosphere. There's no reason your 14-year-old daughter should be walking out of the house looking like she's going to some club and looking like she's 25 years old just to go to school or just to go hang out with her friends.
Yeah, they don't even get carded.
They don't. They get in and I get carded. It's like, what the hell?
Come in with lipstick and all that bullshit. I blame Mac. I blame Maybelline. I blame everybody. How is she recording?
I don't see a big difference from when I was growing up to what we're seeing now. I mean, it's pretty much the same style trends. Besides, tight jeans are in now. I guess guys are allowed to wear tight jeans, but back then when I grew up, girls only wore those. So I mean, that's pretty much the only difference I see. I mean, same music, same style, really.
Very cool.
I don't mind it at all, as long as my daughter don't do it or my wife. She's in the car. I don't mind at all. It's your profession. If you want to go out for that, then so be it. You're making money. I'm not. Peace.
In today's world, like you would never have had a video with somebody talking about booties, that's, and they didn't have music that used profanity in my day. I mean, it was like ballads and love songs, but not the way not the hip hop rapping, where they rap and talk and use bad language and talk about women real bad. Let's see, what else can I say?
Movies and
plays and different media presentations. You can't hardly see one without that sort of thing being involved. And
not that it's bad, but it's just different.
Just the way it is. It wasn't like that when we were young. And women seem to be gaining more rights than they had when we were young. And they should have more rights.
Well, they're more in the workforce, whereas at one time they mostly stayed. I didn't stay home, but there were a lot of women that did stay home and take care of their children.
You have women now that they work on construction jobs, they work in police force, they're bus drivers, they do a lot of jobs that they didn't do when we were young. And that's good too, because if they're qualified, they should be able to do those jobs. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Humans are sexual by nature, but it's always important to respect the wants and wishes of others.
I think in the job place, especially seeing the income variance, how women still only make 70% of what men make, there's still an old school idea about them just being objects, but I think that's turning around, and it's not women dressing a certain way shouldn't invite inappropriate advances, but I think there's a time and a place for everything.
Yo, man.
Yo.
Open up, man.
Yo, what you want, man?
My girl just caught me.
You made her catch you?
I don't know how I let this happen.
With who?